Welcome back to another video, everyone. Today's video is for the Tekken fans out there. We got Jin Kazama off the evil symbol today. I know maybe a couple weeks back, we smashed one June and one Jin deck together. So this is more of a step up from that. It's the next, evolution of the deck, right? So, everyone knows what Jin does. He gets 1-1, commits for 1-1 for every attack in your card pool. If your rival has 8 or more foundations, he gets free speed and damage. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to utilize hand rip mechanics, and we're going to try to push our opponent into the 8 foundation range. So let's go ahead and get into the deck and show you how we're going to do it. So we got 4 copies at 80% power. This may be the second best attack for him in the deck, behind Gravity Beam. So this says destroy one rival target. We destroy one rival foundation. Your rival built the top two cards of the deck committed. If they have 7 or more foundations, we get 2 and 2 as breaker 1, which is great. So the cool part about this is if they're at 6, if they're at 7, we debuild them 1. And then they build 2, so they go to that 8. So technically we get 3-3 on this, which is kind of a beating. If they're trying to stay away, if they're at 6 foundations, sure, we blow 1 up and they build 2, so they're at 7. You know, it kind of puts on that pseudo deadlock threat, right? It's kind of like he's his own deadlock threat in a way. So speaking of deadlock threats, we got the best deadlock threat in the game, file seizing. We want card draw and damage. This helps. This also says deadlock. Your rival's checks for the turn gets -2. It's a beating. Next up, we got Fists of the Mortal Flame. Sure, this is kind of like a Nambo with his ability, because we're probably never going to use the Echo unless we're really going to kill our rival. But we do have a powerful attack. We have in Titanic Haymaker, so we're able to dump powerful. If we want momentum, we're able to dump it into that. We got 2 copies of Blackout, so at the end of a string, we can and our rival has no cards in hand, thanks to Gravity Beam, we can just load up on damage, right, and just drop this and kill them. Speaking of Gravity Beam, it's in the deck, it's deadlock pressure. We get to look at it, we get to hand rip a card, and we get more damage if we've removed a card. So we have to remove one of our cards, which we do have some remove costs in our stage, so it just helps us further along our game plan. 2 copies of Titanic Haymaker. It's just a fast attack that has a good upside for damage. So if we are able to get some momentum, gain, and use powerful 2 a lot at the end of a string, we're just able to body our opponent really well. And then a late addition to the deck that it was just all on evil, and I'm like, oh wait, he has air, so I can air attune card. Survey Core Teamwork gives our next 2 attacks 1 speed, 2 damage, and we can change the zone. So if we can play zone mix up, or if we want to make everything a certain zone to clear out space for a zone, we're able to do that. And we have 2 copies of the Golden Death. It's a unique asset, but if our rival's kind of pushing, we remove this, and then we remove 1 card from their hand. Form, we also remove it, name a card type, then reveal top 3 cards. We add, so we name attack, and say we have 3 attacks. We get 3 attacks. Very cool. 1 next to Showdown. Asset Action Hate, which usually it's way too costly, but it's defensive stun, which is great. Moving on to the foundations, we got 4 copies of Jin's Parry. It's probably one of the top 3 zero diffs in the game, behind Pro Hero 10 and Syndicate Target. It ignores progressive difficulty when blocking. That's why it has that +3 block. If we're able to put more, able to dump more speed hate into our opponent's moves, it just becomes cheaper and cheaper. 4 copies of Quick to Act. We love free speed. We also love free speed hate. For surviving the final, man, I think this is going to be on one of my top cards to be missed when sets 2 and 3 rotate on March 7th. 3 copies of Kazama style combos. Flip, we get 1-1. We love incremental stat bumps. Incubating, remove 1 card from your discard pile. This attack gets -1 speed. So we can technically remove 1 card, give our Trigrav -1 speed. It doesn't matter if they don't have a hand, right? Speed doesn't matter. We just want a lot of damage. Celestial Debts for card draw. House of Cards for momentum hate. And if we want to put a bad check on top, We got 2 copies of Fall on Attack mode to get out of deadlock and to gain some incremental health gain and punish our opponent. Actually, I don't know if this actually makes it. I don't know. I have too many high blocks in Ymir. I actually have never thought of this card in Ymir. I'm kind of dumb. Fruit of our labors, deadlock pressure, and we get to clear on block. Get to clear our blocks. 2 copies of Wake and Power Stance. If this attack this attack gets -2 speed. If its damage is greater than it's printed, gets +3 speed. Yeah, -3 speed, I should say. So yeah, usually most attacks are over their printed damage. So yeah, this is usually -3 speed. Creating an opening, add 2 copies, remove. If our rival has 8 or more foundations, the track to block this attack gets -3. So another remove cost. So 4 Trigrav Beam. 4 copies of Rifle Arm. This card is very great offensive and defensively. This card is one of the best cards in the game. Copy of Defensive Pageant Queen, because we don't like speed. Incompatible Quirks, because this readies over and over again. More speed hate with cooperation offer because we want to be able to survive. Wow, this deck actually has really good defense. I'm just wondering if it can kill anybody. 2 copies of Devil Gene. We get to ready Gin, so we can do it back to back, and or we get extra speed for spending momentum. Now we move on to our board. I had to make sure it was in the picture. We got 2 copies of Runaway. Only way this really gets bodied is by Incredible Display or Showdown. Or I think there's a couple of cards that cancel actions, but yeah. Discard Pile Hate, which probably doesn't matter as much anymore. But like, Toga 3 still gets cards out of their discard pile. Mimic still gets cards out of their discard pile. There's still some recursion that you can probably do. Another Fruit of Our Labors, another Pageant Queen, copy of Citywide Crisis, which is defensive draw on your rival's on your turn. It's defensive draw hate. It's for when your rival draws cards on your turn, or it's a speed reset. 2 copies of Invincible Body to reduce damage, and another Showdown. So yeah, guys, that's the Jin Kazama deck. Something sweet, something short for today's video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I really like the Tekken characters a lot. I just think sometimes they get overshadowed by the AOT characters and some of the My Hero characters. They're just very basic. The Jin and June, I should say. Paul Phoenix is a beast. And Ling Zhao Yu is very good. She's just very, very technical. So that's all I got. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit those bells for notifications so you don't hit a video. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care.